Well, welcome back to Hamlet Without Hamlet. Once again, I am Tim, joined as always by my esteemed co-host, Ian,
Hey, what up?
and our beloved compatriot, Senor David.
Hello, hello.
Tonight we are bringing a little bit of sentimentality and maybe some romance into the picture here. We decided we would share some of the media that we have inextricably linked to our significant relationships in our life, specifically our marriages or the dating journey we took to get there. So I'm intrigued to learn a little bit more behind the curtains of your relationships, and I'll share some of mine. But Ian, why don't you kick us off, sir?
Well, I think we all know my affinity for music, and there is no doubt that that would be the number one media that is shared between Katie and I. We both have a strong draw to music, and live music has been something that, well, it's our thing. That's like couples have their thing or the things that they do together, and that concerts is, yes, the gosh, so we're 20 years together now, 50 plus concerts, gotta be. There's a couple years with kids we didn't go. The kids, I tell you, if you can wait, they're awesome. Still have them.
Until
You got to have them, so have them. And what's really cool is when you get to start taking your kids to concerts, too.
Sure.
That's fun.
Oh yes.
That's a lot of fun. Yeah, the first country concert I went to was when Kate and I got together, and it was Rascal Flatts and Blake Shelton at the State Fair. It was a good time.
Nice.
What was this big hit? Some Beach?
Somewhere.
Hey,
Some beach.
I'm pretty sure I found some straw hat and a
Uh-huh.
John Deere green shirt to wear, and
Fit right in.
I did.
Did you have the beard at the time?
No,
Nah. I don't think I've ever seen you clean shaven.
there was a time,
There was a time. That time has passed.
a long time ago.
So, out of the 50 concerts, is there one or two musical acts that pop up more than others that you've seen, or is it really wide and varied?
It is wide and varied. Of bands that we've seen the most of. So one, I know you'll like this one. Long before she was who she is now, Taylor Swift.
Hey, Swift.
Yeah,
Okay.
she wasn't even the headliner. She was opening for Rascal Flatts. We've seen them a couple times,
Mm-hmm.
so they're one that's a multiple visit. I think actually Papa Roach is the one we've seen the most. AGR we've seen multiple times. Hollywood Undead we've seen multiple times. I would say of the standout concerts, one of do you happen to know Phineas and Ferb?
Sure.
Yep.
Familiar?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know they're back?
I had heard there's a new thing.
There's 104 more days of summer vacation.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, this little band. I didn't even wear the shirt. I was going to wear the shirt tonight. Man, I should have. Gosh, I missed the mark, folks. Sorry. Letting you down. We got to see Bowling for Soup and Sum 41.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually a one-off event. These bands were on their own tours, and they crossed paths in Minnesota and said, hey, let's link up and do our shows together. So instead of it being a 3-band show for either of them, it was actually 6 bands. So it was a big show, and they like ping pong back and forth between their openers, and then they went up. And seeing Bowling for Soup play the Phineas and Ferb theme song live,
Be pretty cool.
that was awesome. Dude, the whole place singing along, everybody. There's probably like 6 people in there. They're like, what is this? I don't know what this is. I haven't heard this. The rest of us had a great time. That was definitely a highlight. One that was an unexpected surprise. Like, hope they'd play it, but you didn't know what they'd play. There was, so for her birthday one year, it was Target Field. They were doing Hella Mega Tour. Green Day, Weezer, and Fall Out Boy. And neither of us had seen any of those. And we actually, generally we find shows that are $25, $50, because we see a lot of shows, so we want to be conservative. This one was considerably more. We got good seats on it because it was awesome. Definitely worth it. Every one of those bands, worth the money. Go see. Saw Fall Out Boy again at Somerset Amphitheater. Another one of, actually probably one of the coolest shows we've ever been at. So it's an outdoor concert. All the openers play, and just before Sum 41's to take the stage, lightning storm. Shelter in place. Hour plus delay on the show. A bunch of people thought the show was over and actually went home. Eventually they did take the stage, but now we're running against curfew. So there wasn't time for them to actually put on their whole show, their whole production. They had roughly 45 minutes instead of the hour 20 or hour and a half that they would have put on. And so they get on stage, fire up, and they go, we have limited time. We're just going to jam this thing, and just went to it. And it felt like a band come up and coming in the small little club backyard, just starting out. And we had pit passes, so we were able to get back into the pit. We got back in there. They take the stage. At this point, wife has to pee. She goes to pee quick, comes to go back. Well, because there's so much chaos with everybody coming back in, people were trying to rush the pit to get in, and they were keeping people out. And the only reason she got back in the pit was because the security guard, Frank the Tank, who I've known for years, great guy. We'd been talking to him earlier.
We're going streaking. Anyway, sorry.
Anyways.
That's a
I
very
digress.
old school reference.
It
It's a
is.
solid joke.
It is.
Let them know in the comments.
And he saw her, and she had a wristband, and just went, Frank! And he's 6'7", 280 probably, and just reached over the crowd, grabbed her, and just drug her into the pit. Is the only way she got back in, was because Frank was there, saw her, and just drug her in. And just amazing memory moment. I mean, we had in between the rain delay, we were sitting in the car, just us time. I mean, we're parents now, we got the kids, and this is just a time that we just had for us, just to chat and spend time together. And that's, I think one of the best things for concerts for us is that time that we have in between the sets, or on the way there, or waiting in line. It's just our time. No kids. Most of the concerts we go to, it's just us two. We've got other couples and stuff, but it's our time. And it's something that's just amazing and special. And yeah, there's been a couple other birthdays I've got. What was it? Sugar Ray came back in tour. I got tickets for that with Sugar Ray, Gin Blossoms, Smash Mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Bunch of throwback. Late 90s, early 2000s bands. Blast. Wallflowers down at Mystic Lake. Oof. He can play. He can sing. Oh, so good. Yeah, I could. And it's just something that we both grew up on music. So it's just the thing that just, it's amazing when you have a partner and you find that thing. Like, I think that's the special thing about it is that when you find, you're not going to have all the same beliefs, or not beliefs, but the same
Interests.
Yeah, thanks. Hey, wow. Talking's hard, I guess. No, the same interests and the same passions and things you want to do. But when you find that one or two things that really, like, hey, this is our thing. We both love this. Oh, it's just wonderful. It's just such a joy. And then when you have kids and now you start to get to share that with them, yeah, that's just fun. Just to get taken to their first concert. And that was not a date night, but when we took Adabel, my oldest, to her first concert, and we went to see NF at, I think it was Target Center. And first concert, we didn't go all the way up front. We were on the floor, but we didn't go all the way up front. Kind of stayed at the back, like the main crowd. Could see great, see everything. Then we didn't have to deal with the crowd with her, getting her bearings on what's a concert like. Well, in the middle of the show, he disappears from the stage there and comes back to a stage that was 20 feet behind us. So quick, Katie grabbed that bell, drags her over there, and she's on the rail with NF 13 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
Just right there. We ruined concerts for her. I mean, that was her first concert.
Mm-hmm.
She looks on there like, you guys, what? How am I supposed to live up to that now? We're taking another thing. She's had a blast, but yeah, that's been, yeah, it's something about that shared experience and the shared passion that just is something that we look forward to. And we talk about the retirement years or just, I mean, we do it now, but the ability to just go see shows and just take it in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
That's the main one.
Yeah, I mean, that shared experience part is huge. Money has been tighter, but when we've had the chance to go to live shows, or, and I would say this more commonly and more recently, stage shows, Broadway shows, musicals. Most recently, we went to see Back to the Future when it was here.
Yes.
The touring show was great. We've seen Hamilton together. We've seen Justin Willman, who is a magician, comedy magician, fantastic. Has a series on Netflix called Magic for Humans. And he did a special that he filmed here in St. Paul at the Fitzgerald Theater. And I took her to that. And we had loved his show together and watched it during the pandemic when it was big. And then brought her to that show, and she had kind of forgotten that was his name, like it was that guy, until she saw his picture like on the program. She's like, "Is this guy?" So she was over the moon. The special is now out as of like a week ago, and it's fantastic. You can watch it on Netflix. So those kind of shared experiences have been wonderful. As much as I can go, I like to do that. And when we were dating, we saw Brad Paisley at the Hollywood Bowl. That was a really cool concert. So that's seminal because I kind of introduced her to country music a little bit during our relationship when I was in my headlong into country music phase. So I was big Brad Paisley. I like Dierks Bentley. I like Blake Shelton. I like Rascal Flatts. Kenny Chesney, kind of hit or miss.
That's fair.
I like Little Big Town a lot. Lady A, all of those I was really into. So she got into it with me, Carrie Underwood, and going to that show together was really formative for me because I only got to see 2 shows at Hollywood Bowl. One was John Williams doing the music from Star Wars. Awesome. And the other one was Brad Paisley. Also awesome. So now that's inextricably linked. So anytime we can go to a live anything, I look to do that, especially if I can make it be a little bit of a surprise or something I know that she's been really excited to see or dive into. And as someone who loves musical theater and stage, getting to introduce her to things she might not know that I already enjoy is also a really cool aspect of it. Specifically like Hamilton. I got into that, just the music, before I ever saw it on stage. And then I saw it when it first toured here, and she still hadn't gotten into it. And then when it came out on the pro recording on Disney Plus, that's when she got into it. And now it's like we can sing it back and forth in the car and do duets, and oh, it's so fun. Anyway, that would be my first one. Wow.
Yeah.
How about you?
Well, you said your first one, so how many do I do here? So when my wife and I were dating, we were pretty young, so we had an album that we liked called Supernatural that kind of came out right around the time we started calling what we were doing dating. 'Cause we were friends, and then we were kind of an item, but we didn't call it dating yet, and yeah. But once we got married before college was done, and as it turns out, I took a little more than 4 years to finish, and she went for her master's degree, and so we had a lot of time where we were both working and going to school, and our downtime together was watching shows. So we played some games together as well. She played a little World of Warcraft with me, and there were a couple other things. But TV shows was kind of a touch point. And knowing that this conversation was coming, I asked her about it. And is interesting because I remember Friends and Gilmore Girls. Those were significant for me because I wouldn't have watched them on my own.
Mhm.
But with her, they were great, and the writing was excellent, and we get to experience a lot of those really funny moments. And I was coming to them later. I didn't watch them as they were coming out. We were watching them on DVD. Watching them on DVD together. But it was fun to share those moments with her. She remembers completely different shows because she's watched Gilmore Girls multiple times. She's been through Friends more than once, and those were things she shared with other people, not just with me. So she remembered things like NCIS, Bones, Numbers. There was one or two other
Monk?
shows. She did not mention Monk, but we did own a box set of Monk. Yeah. So yeah, it's so well done. Anyway, so those are the TV shows, and then from a movies perspective, I probably never would have gotten into the Harry Potter stuff, but for her, and she definitely would have never gotten into the Lord of the Rings stuff, but for me. And it turns out that both of us, we got the box set of the books, and then also watched the movies, got excited about going to them in theaters. So those were good connection points as well. It's pretty good.
I think it's so cool because it's things you can come back to again and again. With film, you can watch it. With music, you can listen to it, but you can also reminisce about it. And with film and TV, you can quote it. You can spontaneously start singing the songs, and it's just like you said, it's a touch point of just a moment you can go back to with them.
Exactly.
One that sticks out to me, kind of a unique one, is the first night I met my wife. I was living with 3 other guys in a 2-bedroom apartment in Burbank, California, and she had come to visit 2 of them because she went to college with them. So that's how I met her. And I had just bought the Blu-ray trilogy of Jurassic Park 1, 2, and 3. And I didn't need Jurassic Park 1, 2, and 3 on DVD anymore. And I kind of generally offered it to the room, directed at her, and she was like, "What? I can just have that?" I was like, "Yeah, do you want it?" Yes! This is amazing. You're just gonna give me like, yeah. And that was like my first foray into like the energy enigma that is Elaine, and that was like a hook. And so she's been linked to me ever since I gave her Jurassic Park. So now, Jurassic Park, inextricably linked to our family. We all have Jurassic Park shirts that we wear pretty regularly. Anytime we are all wearing it, we'll take a picture. We've gone on Jurassic Park rides a lot at the Universal and take pictures. So, again, it started as something so small, barely media related. Like, we weren't watching anything. I just happened to buy it as a Black Friday deal when I was home in Minnesota. As I was coming back, I was putting it on my shelf. She happened to be there, and here we are. So, thank you, Steven Spielberg. Appreciate that.
Spielberg. Good specification.
There's a lot of Stevens out there, so I mean, could have been a roommate. We don't know.
Right. So we also went to see Interstellar early on in our relationship at the legitimate IMAX screen at Universal in Hollywood.
I hear that movie's out of this world.
It sure is. And I may have put my wallet underneath our seat, which happened to also have her license and credit card. And I may or may not have walked out and forgot. And we were going to go into Universal Studios, the theme park, right after. And I got over there. I was like, I think I may have left my wallet. And again, this was a newer relationship. She was trusting me to hold on to her license. Credit card. It's the only thing she had. And we went back in. It was gone. Never saw it again. So we spent the rest of the day like trying to cancel the credit cards and put freeze on accounts and find out what we have to do to get new licenses. And so she has never brought that up since.
So you're telling the world.
You're putting yourself on blast. Okay.
Yes, it was poor. So now, literally, still, this was 2012, early 2012 probably. Every time we go, like, do you want me to hold your wallet? Every time, including 2 nights ago, we went to see Superman. Do you have your wallet? You want me to hold it? I got it, hon. Thank you. So, love.
Beautiful thing. I like it. Well, I guess taking a little bit over to, obviously you guys have given a little bit more in the TV category. Definitely Scrubs is one that, that 70s show. Back to DVD box sets.
Mm-hmm.
When I met Katie, we didn't have cable. We didn't pay for that. Very cheap.
Mm-hmm.
So when she come over, there was only a couple options what we're going to watch. It was what I had for DVDs or what we picked up. And I think she actually introduced me to the 70s show. But Scrubs got into that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we ended up catching some on TV or how that came to be. That's one of my favorite shows of all time.
You saw it's coming back?
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what that looks like. Man.
Well, as long as it's not,
Season
the
9.
thing we don't talk about. Hey, we don't.
Sorry,
don't
my
mention
bad.
it.
The
do
thing
not
we don't
mention
talk about.
it. Med school doesn't exist.
Voldemort.
Bruno? Hey, anyways.
Yep.
And it's interesting as I think about this. CSI, Criminal Minds, CSI Las Vegas and New York and Miami and all those. We watched a lot of that for years. And it's like an ingrained part of our relationship, especially with kids and stuff, that was just kind of like everybody's in bed. Okay, we get to watch this. But it got tarnished primarily because of Criminal Minds. As the seasons got on, they really started to want to start bringing more kids into it, and like things happening to kids or kids getting taken, and we're young parents with young kids. Like, I know this stuff happens in the world. I'm not. Click. See you later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it was like appointment viewing, like this is what we do thing. And then all of a sudden it like took this dive. Now Katie has gone back to watching the original CSI, which didn't have that same kind of thing to it. But I don't know if I'll ever find myself going back to Criminal Minds, even though it has like a special place in the development of our relationship and something we bonded watching. But there's a certain point where it just took a turn and it kind of just left a sour taste in the mouth. I don't know if I really want to go back to the rest of it. Mm-hmm. Even though I know there's plenty of stuff before that was super cool and I enjoyed. Like eventually we're going to hit that point and I'm like, oh yeah, that doesn't feel good again. And in case you didn't know, folks, I have a list.
Yep.
So I can leave some things off the list.
Yeah. Can't fill it up too much. You'll
No.
never
Yeah.
get to it.
No. We're on movies. We can't get into TV shows. That'd be unfeasible.
So when you're watching some of those TV shows, did you find yourself actively watching or passively watching those TV shows? Because it's late at night. You already put the kids to bed, right? So are you sitting there engrossed in the story, or are you just kind of doing something else while you're sitting there with the show on?
So those shows, no, we would be, well, because as you phrase it, definitely actively watching.
Okay.
Like we weren't on phones, we weren't on computers, we
Right.
weren't doing other things. But with that being said, we also would talk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like we would have conversations, and sometimes we'd also, some of those we were watching back when they actually had commercials on, so
Yeah.
you'd have 3.5 minutes to talk.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Or
Oh,
get up, do
but no,
dishes while you're
definitely-
watching commercials.
And if there's anything that I feel happens less in our family is active watching, because it's so easy for other distractions to come around
Yeah.
that it's a challenge to be intentional.
Yeah. Well, I think that's part of the difference too between the shows that I remembered and the shows that my wife remembered and brought up, because she had seen Friends already and I was watching it through with her. So I was seeing it for the first time and I was engaged and she was doing homework. Right? Same thing for Gilmore Girls. You know, she had watched some of it. So the parts that we watched together, especially the first bits, I was seeing it for the first time. I was engaged with it because the writing is amazing. And again, she's doing homework. And then on the other side of it, she's remembering things like NCIS and Bones, which I found to be really repetitive. And so I tended to do homework during those. So it is kind of intriguing to me that, you know, we're doing all of this rote stuff, you know, filling things out, data entry, doing research for a paper, whatever the case is, with the TV on in the background, and we have different memories of the shows. But those still stick for us, and we own some of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Still own some of them, despite the inconvenience of pulling out a disc these days.
Yeah. But again, part of that, and you kind of mentioned it, touched on it a little bit, is the memory is ingrained because it's a media that you wouldn't have otherwise engaged with without the other
Exactly.
person.
Exactly.
And that's why she remembers numbers, and like
Mhm.
she might not have watched those on her own,
Right.
but she thought they were cool. And
Yeah.
I would agree. I think Bones is a little repetitive. Elaine loves it. It's one of her favorites. I've watched through it with her. I'm not going to say that I was like uninterested, but it's very much over and over and over. I do like when like the Palanque storyline comes in and there's at least like a 5 or 6 story arc where there's like something happening in the background besides let's solve this crime. Let's solve this crime. Let's solve So that's, you know, a show like Ted Lasso or Breaking Bad or Shrinking for me is a lot more of an enjoyable experience than the serial monster of the week kind of thing.
Sounds like you're really on that Apple TV over there.
I'm just saying, those 2 shows, Bill Lawrence, Scrubs, they're so good.
So a new this will reveal when we're recording this. A new season of Foundation just dropped, or is starting to drop. The first episode came out yesterday, and I watched it already. I'm a big fan of what they're doing with Foundation. The story is so broad. So if you haven't checked that out yet,
I don't think I've even heard of it.
oh, check it out. How much do I ruin for you? So the basic idea, it's a sci-fi kind of thing, but the basic idea is that this man has discovered a math equation that allows him to see all of the future for humanity. So he can tell the future because of something called psychohistory, which is not history, it's the future. And the emperor finds out about this and exiles him. because he doesn't like what's being told. But the exile and then the future success of the exiled people is part of the prediction. So it's kind of a fascinating thing. The Emperor is actually 3 people, but it's one person. He's a clone. And so you have dawn, day, and dusk. Dawn is the young one who's learning the path. Day is running everything, and dusk is advising through his experience and knowledge. And when they have a ceremony where dusk dies, day becomes dusk, and a new dawn is born, but it's actually a clone. So this perfect human that is being cloned over and over is ruling. Anyway, Foundation's it's pretty neat. It's an Asimov. Yeah, it's an Isaac Asimov that they somehow turned into a TV show and make it somewhat cohesive.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know you mentioned Apple TV is something I've been on, but their movies are not good. The original movies I've seen, none of them have been good yet, but I have not seen a original show from Amazon or Apple TV that I've been unimpressed with.
Quick counterpoint, you did say you like The Gorge. Is that incorrect?
I thought it was fine.
Okay. We'll take fine.
Yeah.
Oh no. It stopped
Fine
working.
for 500, folks.
Fine for 5 out of 10. But yeah, no, I mean, when you were talking about Foundations, and where's that available at?
That's Apple TV.
Apple TV. Look at that. That sounds akin to Silo. I don't know if you've heard of that.
I have heard of Silo.
I found that to be fascinating. That one's still going on, which I didn't know when I started watching it, because then I caught up, and it's like, oh. I have to wait. But Rebecca Ferguson from Mission Impossible movies and Greatest Showman, and Tim Robbins. Essentially, all of humanity lives underground in a silo because of nuclear fallout. But this has now been like, I think it's like 160 years since they went underground, and nobody really knows anything about Earth or humans' history, or why they're there, or why they do what they do, or why they can't go outside. Or the story is some people in the silo revolting, some people deciding should we go outside, some people trying to figure out the history of humanity and peel back the curtain. And it's a really well-formed show that has a lot of complexity that I've enjoyed as it's gone on, and I'm excited for the next. And Severance.
Yep.
Oh man, I haven't seen the second season yet. Waiting for it to be done. Don't want it to have to wait. But then again, I suppose I have to wait for season 3.
So you're waiting for season 2 to be done? Season 2's done.
Great.
Yeah.
There you go.
it.
Then I can pay for Apple TV again. And I know Ted Lasso's coming back for. We'll see if it's any good, but for a 4th season. Scrubs, season 10, 9.
It's going to be good.
There's some good stuff out there, man. Yeah. But Elaine and I watched a lot of Doctor Who early on in our relationship.
You mentioned your affinity for Doctor Who.
Yes. And that was something that we both kind of got into together, which was really fun. We both like it a lot. We both have a favorite Doctor that's different than the other one. But it was fun to watch that together for the first time, instead of her dragging me along like Smallville or me dragging her along like Chuck. That was, we journeyed through it for the first time together, which was pretty fun, because we haven't had that experience as much, because,
Movie man.
movies, but also a lot of the shows that are coming out are newer, and maybe I'll watch the first couple episodes and be like, I think you'll like this, like we did with Pitt. And she watched the rest of it with me and really liked it. Same thing with Shrinking. but it hasn't been that common of occurrence where we start a show together and carry it through together.
Mm-hmm.
Like I watched the first season of Full Swing, which is a Netflix documentary about the actual lives of pro golfers and
Yeah.
their, what they actually go in day out, and their friendships, their enemies, and kind of the realities of what it's like when you're not playing well. And I've gotten her into golf through our relationship. I grew up playing it. She didn't play it until we started dating. Now she plays more than I do because she plays every Wednesday in a old ladies league. She's not an old lady. They invited her. She's the youngest by about 30 years. So she goes more than I do. And then I told her about this, and she's like, that sounds interesting. And we watched the first episode, and she was like, this is great. And then she asked me questions along the way and pause it because I'm a lot more in the know on the inner workings of the PGA and the majors and all that than she is. But it's really fun to be on that journey with her as she's getting intrigued by it. But I'd already seen the first season, but we did watch the second and third together. So, you never know what's going to strike, but that's been pretty fun. So, and then each year on the 4th of July, if we can make it work, this year we had to watch it on the 5th. We try to watch Independence Day, and that is a tradition. When we didn't have kids, we would watch Independence Day and Air Force One. Very American patriotic kind of thing.
Hoorah.
Even though technically Independence Day doesn't have that much to do with the 4th of July in America and what we celebrate.
No.
But it's placed on that day.
Yeah.
But it's just a fun tradition, so we'll keep that going as long as we can. So I think that's all I had. Let me verify. Oh, I do have one more, but you have anything else?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, not media related, but we like to build Legos together too.
That is a medium.
But not a media.
Ha!
I decided to throw that in there. It is something that we bond over, connect over, love. Have.
That's the
a
building
lot.
blocks of a successful marriage right there. See what I did?
Anyways, okay. We also, and you talked about a little bit of video games. That is something that playing video games together, especially as parenting and having that little bit of time, has been something that has also been something that we've bonded over because it's an easy way to kind of unwind and just relax. Playing Minecraft was one that we definitely put probably too many hours to admit into just sitting there. But we do something from, we'll just sit there and talk and go build things, or we would turn on like a comedy special or something. So we'd be listening to it. We wouldn't see them on stage, but it's comedy. I mean, you don't really, most comedians, you don't really have to see much what they're doing to get the comedy of it. Pretty good. It's like a Carrot Top or something, then you got to see the
Gotta see the props.
but so a lot of hours logged in that. After kids go to bed, we have our hour or two that we can unwind and decompress the day. And so a few different games over the years that we've played, but Minecraft I think is the one that we've really logged a lot of time, and it was fun because you can just, in a way, you can check out. You just kind of do your thing, but then when you're doing it with somebody, and she'd want to build stuff, and I'd go out and mine all that stuff to bring back to do it because I just love going out and mining and building things. Hey, you want to have this? Okay, I'll go find it and build it. And she'd decorate it and get all our animals together and build her zoo and plant flowers and just real calm, relaxing. But I warn you folks, set yourself a clock so you get to bed on a reasonable time.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's a slippery slope.
It is kind of like Legos without the cleanup afterwards.
Yeah.
There's
They
that.
don't hurt at 2 a.m. to step on.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah. If you step on a Minecraft server, you're just not going to feel it at all.
Here, little jolt. Yeah.
Yeah. It is programmed in Java, so it'll wake you up.
Ugh. I gotta go.
The doctor is out, folks.
That was.
You had one left, you said.
Oh my. Java.
Is it your closer?
All right. We are
Um,
all.
Yeah, this is. It fits in the media, but it's slightly outside of it.
Breaking his own rules, folks.
Yeah, it's fine. These are not hard and fast, right? Again, early on in our relationship, we were living in California. I was working as a professional actor, and as such, I was able to submit for free tickets to Comic-Con, which are incredibly hard to get. But if you're approved as an industry professional, you can either get them for free or make sure you can purchase them. And so, for 2 years in a row, I got tickets for her and I to go to Comic-Con, which is a seminal thing for any comic TV person to attend, if you're able to, and to get to do that 2 years in a row with my girlfriend and then fiance the second year was really, really fun. We dressed up both times. One time I was Matt Smith's Doctor Who and she was a Dalek. And the number of people that asked for my autograph or pictures was really cool. So that landed. But we got to see the first episode of Constantine, the TV show. We got to see the Mythbusters, Jamie and Adam do a live show. We got to sit down with the cast of 24. We got to sit down with the cast of Bones. We got to sit down with the cast of Serenity. We got to go into Hall H, which is the big, big hall where they announce all the new movies that were coming up. So we got to see, that would have been 2014. So that was like, I think Ant-Man was announced and Avengers was first announced, Avengers Age of Ultron was announced. And, and probably the best moment was the second year we were waiting to get into Hall H, because the way they have it, it seats like, I would say it's like 6,000 people. So it's intended to be full because these are the marquee tentpole things that they're going to announce. And so you wait in line, and as people leave, they trickle out. They don't clear it after events. You can stay all day if you want. But as people leave, they let people in, so you might get in, you might not. So we're like, we got nothing else on the schedule we want to see. Let's go see if we can get into Hall H. And we were there at like, I don't know, 5:30. And I was hoping to get in for Kevin Smith, which was at 7:30-ish, I think. And time's ticking by. The line's not moving. I was like, well, might not happen. And all of a sudden, the line just screams. We're like, what's going on? Because we're like 500-600 people back in the line. This is not like 10 people ahead of us. And we're like, there's no way we're going to get in. It's going to stop at some point. And we just keep fishing and swimming around this line. And we just walk right in. And we walk into Hall H, and it is next to empty. We're like, what is happening? Why is this empty? I hadn't remembered what was beforehand, but it was J.J. Abrams announcing Force Awakens.
Oh.
And what he did was he said, everybody in Hall H at the end, please stand up and follow us out here for a special surprise. And the entirety of Hall H followed J.J. Abrams out the door, leaving an empty room. So for the first time in Comic-Con history, they left the doors of Hall H open. We're like, everybody. And so we're sitting there like second row,
Nice.
third row maybe, in what is a 70, 80 row place, waiting for Kevin Smith. And it's like, is he going to come on? Does he know what just happened? I don't really know what just happened other than it's an empty room. Found out later through Twitter that he was like freaking out backstage because a lot of his thing is like back and forth with the audience and banter and questions, and like, how can I go out to a literal empty room. Like, what am I going to do? So thankfully, there was enough people for him to come out. And it was a really cool, shockingly intimate show. Talking, Q&A, sharing his life with the few of us that were there. More trickled in as the night went on, but most people had either gone home or were doing something else to like, let's go see if Hall H is open. Like, most people wouldn't do that. So I think by the end, which was almost 2 hours, there was maybe 800 people, 1,000.
Wow.
So I got to stand up and ask him a question.
What'd you ask him?
I asked him because he had told a story during the thing about JJ asking him to come onto set for The Force Awakens, and he got to see the Millennium Falcon for the first time in real life as a lifelong Star Wars geek, and how incredibly cool that was. And I asked him if he had a similar experience like that in any other part of his film journey. I think he said something along the lines of getting to work with Bruce Willis when he did Cop Out, I think he did, with Bruce Willis. Was kind of leading up to that. Turned out to not be as great because Bruce was kind of like, I don't necessarily want to be here, but it's a paycheck. But it was really fun to have that kind of one-on-one interaction. And then I tweeted at him and said, thank you for coming out and sticking it out in what was a weird situation. And he liked that tweet. And that was like,
He knows who I am.
he's like, I've made it. I'm in his next movie for sure. Spoilers, I was not.
What about the one after that?
No, not yet.
The last one?
Hey, Kev, hit me up. Loved you in Hall H, man. So, again, getting to experience that, which was kind of like a live concert, live show with Elaine now, as part of Comic-Con, is a really core memory we can touch on with each other and then think back to. So, there we go. But
Yeah.
what a dive down memory lane. Thanks for going with us. Let us know in your comments what some of yours are for any of your significant relationships and what you bounce back to. But thanks for joining us. I'll see you next time.
Take care, folks.